Good evening, students. Today we will talk about third part of chapter number 12, electricity, class 10th, and we will deal with the subtopics electric power, electric heat and Joule's law of heating. Before starting it, I want to say that share, like and subscribe my content so as to spread knowledge to others also. Okay, let us start with it. Electric power, as you can see here, I have shown various appliances which are attached to the meter box, that is refrigerator of 170 watt, an electric bulb maybe of 60 watt, washing machine of 1400 watt, and kettle of 1500 watt, dryer of 1500 watt, then heater of 1200 watt, then an washing kit is 1100 watt, electric iron 1000 watt and 200 watt for television. So electric power is always assigned for the electrical appliances. This mean to say that. Now let us see what is electric power. In case of electricity, it is defined as rate of change of electrical energy dissipated or consumed in an electric circuit. जिस रेट के ऊपर इलेक्ट्रिकल एनर्जी डिसिपेट होती है या यूज़ होती है किसी इलेक्ट्रिकल सर्किट में, उसे हम इलेक्ट्रिक पावर कहते हैं. और अ शॉर्ट फॉर्म ऑफ इट इज़ इलेक्ट्रिक पावर इज़ द इलेक्ट्रिकल वर्क डन पर यूनिट टाइम. So when we divide electrical work with time, we call it electric power. Therefore, power is equal to work done upon time taken, or P is equal to W upon T. Unit for power is watt, which is an SI unit denoted by letter W here. The power of 1 watt is the rating of working of 1 joule per second. This means that power is 1 watt when work done is 1 joule and it is done for 1 second only, then it is 1 watt of power. 1 watt is equal to 1 joule per second. The bigger unit of power is kilowatt, which is generally used these days. 1 kilowatt, which is equal to 1000 watt. Therefore 1 kilowatt is 1000 watt. So these are some essential contents for the electric power with which various appliances, electrical appliances are rated. Now what are the formulas for calculating electric power? Here in this case, power is equal to work done divided by the time taken, as we have discussed earlier, or P is equal to W upon T. Now earlier we have read in our first video, V is equal to W upon Q, that is potential difference is equal to work done upon charges taken, or W will be of course equal to V multiply with Q. So when we will put this the value of W in the equation above, this will change into W is equal to VIT into P. Okay, and for power, since it is a work done divided by time, so it will be converted to VIT upon T. So by cutting it, what we get is P is equal to V into I watts. So that's how it is derived. First formula is derived with us, that is power is equal to potential difference multiplied with the current. That means that power is directly related to the potential difference. More the potential difference across the battery, more will be the power given to the appliance. Similarly, more the current passing through the circuit, more will be the power of the appliance. So heating device, for heating devices, this is the first formula, where various appliances, they are with potential difference and current will determine power of a circuit. Other formulas are when power is in terms of I and R. When we don't want to consider potential difference, we want to consider current and resistance. In that case, since P is equal to VI, we'll start from here, and from Ohm's law, of course, V is equal to I multiply with R. So we'll put this one in this formula, so that what we get here is P is equal to I into R into I. This means P is equal to I square into R, or P is I square R. This is second formula which will be given for it. So power is proportional to the square of current and resistance. This means whatsoever current is passed, a square of it will help in making the power up. Similarly, more the resistance, more will be the power of the electrical appliance. This is the second formula. Now third formula is where we are not provided with current, but we have potential difference in R. In that case, power can also be calculated with the help of the same formula, basic formula, P is equal to V into I. So when we take Ohm's law, what we get is V is equal to I multiply with R, or I is equal to V upon R. Now since we get this I is equal to V into V upon R, we will put it in the formula, and what we get is P is equal to V multiply V by R, or P is equal to V square upon R. This shows that power is directly proportional to the potential difference also. But this is a formula which is generally used when appliances are attached in an parallel circuit. Okay, now look at the diagram here, which is related with the above equation, that power is inversely related to the resistance. Now if you look here, bulb on the left hand side has higher resistance, that is why it has a less power and it glows less. But if you look here in the third one, that is the right side, it glows much brighter. Reason is because it has lesser resistance, so power is more. So that's why power and resistances, they are mostly inversely related with each other when they are connected in the parallel circuits, and mostly bulbs are connected in domestic circuits, it is connected in parallel. Now if we look at the further compiled sheet I have made for you for your convenience, that is power P is equal to V multiply I. This is first formula. Second formula is P is equal to V square upon R, and third formula P is equal to I square into R. Now if we look at this is a short form which I have compiled here. Electric power is electrical work done per unit time. SI unit is watt. So power, formula of power is work done upon time taken. And this is a definition of 1 watt, that is a rate of working of 1 joule per second. Bigger unit of course is 1 kilowatt, and this is equal to 1000 watt. So you can take up some tips from this compiled chart also. Okay, now let us see what are the numericals we have to deal generally with the power content. What will be the current drawn by an electric bulb of 40 watt when it is connected to a source of 220 volt? A bulb is there which has a power of 40 watt and it is connected to 220 volt. What should be the current? We have used this formula, P is equal to V into I, or I is P by V, and when we have calculated it, then we found out that current is 1.18 ampere, very small in intensity. This is first kind of simple numericals related with the power. Let us see problem number 2. Which bulb glows brighter, 60 watt bulb or 100 watt bulb? If you look at the diagram, two bulbs are there, 60 watt and 100 watt. They are connected in series. They are connected in a line, but their voltage is same, that is 200 watt. So which will grow brighter? Let us see. The power P is equal to I square R, where I is the current and for bulbs connected in series. So this is a value of power. This is a formula of power used when two bulbs are connected in series, because the current is the same throughout both the bulbs. Of course current will go across this circuit, and this current will be same in which is going through both the bulbs. Okay, through these bulbs, the bulb with a higher resistance, that is 60 watt bulb. Of course bulb is 60 watt and it has a higher resistance, that's why its power is less, will dissipate more power. So it will dissipate more power since it has a less resistance. It is made like that it has a larger resistance and it will dissipate more power, and it is brighter than the bulb with the smaller resistance, that is 100 watt. So this means that they are just opposite to, they are inbuilt in such a form that the larger resistances will give the will give more power. That's why 60 watt bulb will grow brighter than the 100 watt bulb. Next is, this was the case when we have connected two bulbs in a series. Now next question is, two bulbs of 80 watt and 100 watt are connected in series and parallel one by one. Which will glow brighter? In which situation there will be more glow? Let us see that. The most confusing question is this one. Let us find out the reason behind that. Well, there are a lot of information around, but we will go in a very step by step detail to calculate the exact value to clear the confusion. Okay, first of all, students, we will take bulb having a, we'll say that the bulb having a high resistance will dissipate more power in the circuit, that is 80 watt bulb, no matter series or parallel. That will always dissipate more power, which is having higher resistance, will glow brighter. Okay, in other words, the brightness of the bulb depends on voltage and current, along with that resistance. So brightness depends on these values also. Okay, next is, also keep in mind that power dissipated in watts is not the unit of brightness. Unit of brightness is lumens, and also known as candela, but light brightness is directly related to the bulb wattage, that is volt. How much volt we are providing them, that will give the brightness to the bulb. Okay, that's why more wattage a bulb is using will glow more brighter. Now let us see, when bulbs are connected in series, what is going to happen. Okay, rating of bulb wattage are different, are connected in a series circuit. सीरीज सर्किट में whenever you will connect them in series, आप जब भी दो बल्ब को सीरीज में कनेक्ट करोगे तो उनमें जो वोल्ट होगा वो ऑफ कोर्स अपने आप इंडिविजुअल बल्ब के अक्रॉस डिफरेंट हो जाएगा. सपोज वी हैव टू बल्ब्स ऑफ 80 watt and second bulb of 100 watt. Rated voltage of both are 220 volt and connected in series with a supply of 220 volt AC. In that case, the bulb with higher resistance and more power dissipation will glow brighter than the other one. That is 80 watt bulb. First one will glow brighter than the second one is dimmer. In short, in series, both bulbs have the same current flowing through them. The bulb with the higher resistance will have a greater voltage drop across it. Mind this thing. The bulb with a higher resistance, that will show more greater, that will show greater voltage drop or down in voltage across it, and therefore will have higher power dissipation and brightness. So that's why power spread will be more and brightness spread will be more. How? Let us calculate this thing. I hope you understood the last part which I have written here. In series, both bulbs will have a same current flowing through them since they are in a line, but the bulb with high resistance, that will show more voltage drop across it. This particular bulb will show more drop of voltage around it, and therefore power will dissipation and brightness will also increase. That is the basic reason behind it. Power P is equal to V into I, or P is equal to I square R, or P is equal to V square upon R. Now let us see for the first bulb, that is 80 watt. Here the current is same and voltage are additive in a series of a circuit, that is V is equal to V1 plus V2 plus V3. Similarly, currents in a series, they are also equal. Okay, therefore R is equal to V square upon P for 80 watt bulb. If we want to find out a resistance for it, and we find out its resistance to be 605 ohm. And for the second bulb, that is 100 watt, when we found out its resistance with the same formula V square upon P, we found that it came out to be 484 ohm. Okay, so resistance in this case is more in 100 watt bulb as compared to in 605 ohm. Now current I is equal to V upon R. As we know, current I is equal to V upon R, or V upon the total resistance in them. When we found that the current I is 0.020 ampere, that is the total current. Okay, now both the things are with us, that is R and I are with us, and we can find out power dissipation in bulb 1, that is 80 watt. So P will be equal to I square R, that is a formula we have used for series. So P came out to be 24.68 watt. Okay, and power dissipated by the bulb 2, that is 100 watt, P is equal to I square R, that came out to be, after calculation, 19.74 watt. This means for the first bulb, that is a 80 watt, the power came out to be 28.68 watt, and for the second power will be less. What is for the 80 watt bulb, power consumed is more as compared to the 100 watt bulb. That is the reason behind, by the calculation I have shown you that why power of a lesser power will for 80 watt it is more, but for 100 watt it is less. Okay, by calculation method I have shown you. Hence it is proved that power dissipated for the 80 watt bulb is more as compared to the 100 watt bulb. That is, bulb 1, which is rated as 80 watt, is greater in power dissipation than the bulb 2, which was rated as 100 watt. Therefore the 80 watt bulb is brighter than the 100 watt bulb when connected in series. So I hope you understood why there is a difference in the power of the two bulbs when they are connected with different, they have a different power in them. Now next one is, our topic is electrical energy. Now electrical energy, I would like to show you one very interesting formula here, students. I have made a triangle here. Now this triangle I have written here PE, P and T. This means E is equal to P multiply with T. Okay, whereas P is equal to E divided by T. And if we want to find out T, this will be equal to E divided by P. Okay, so this is such a fantastic triangle in which you need not to learn formula always. You can easily calculate it, that energy is equal to power into time, power is equal to energy upon time, and time is equal to energy upon power. Isn't it interesting for your learning part? Now next is, let us see electrical energy, that is E, consumed by an electrical appliance, is given by the product of its power rating and the time for which it is used. Therefore electrical energy is equal to power multiply with time. Therefore E is equal to P multiply T. SI unit is joule for energy or watt second, and commercial unit is kilowatt hour. We also call it as 1 unit. Next is, what is the relationship between this commercial unit and SI unit of the energy? Let us find it out. Now E is equal to P multiply with T, as we know that, or kilowatt hour is equal to 1 kilowatt, which is for power, and hour for time. So what we got here is 1 kilowatt into hour. 1 kilowatt is written like that because this kilowatt is for power and hour is for time. So energy will be equal to 1000 watt multiply with 3600 second. Okay, so when we calculated, we found that it came out to be 36 multiply 10 power 5 watt second. Or if we place the decimal here, this came out to be 3.6 multiply 10 power 6 joule. Okay, therefore 1 kilowatt hour is equal to 3.6 into 10 power 6 joules. This means 1 किलोवाट आवर के अंदर कमर्शियल यूनिट, जिसमें कि हमारी इलेक्ट्रिसिटी मेजर होता है, इलेक्ट्रिकल यूनिट्स मेजर होते हैं, हमारे बहुत से इलेक्ट्रिकल अप्लायंसेस चलते हैं घर में, इलेक्ट्रिक फ़ैन है, इलेक्ट्रिक बल्ब है, इलेक्ट्रिक हीटर है, इलेक्ट्रिक ट्यूबलाइट है. So all of them are rated with watt, but the electrical energy on the basis of which bill is formed, that is in the 1 kilowatt hour or unit form, and this unit is so big that it is equal to 36 lakh times that of 1 joule, that is SI unit of it, 36 lakhs times that of joule SI unit. Okay, another important, very important part is 1 horsepower, for which with which these various electric motors are rated. And you know, motors are used everywhere. They are used in AC, they are used in electric fans, they are used in washing machines. These electric motors are rated with horsepower, and this horsepower is equal to 746 watt. Okay, so that is another unit, that is another important fact about it. Now let us see further. Electric energy, this is a compiled chart for electrical energy, which is a product of its power rating and the time for which it is used. This is a definition of it. Formula is E is equal to P into T. Electrical energy is equal to power multiplied with time. SI unit is joule or watt second. Commercial unit is kilowatt hour or 1 unit. 1 kilowatt hour is 3.6 into 10 power 6 joules. I hope this is quite helpful for your learning process. Now further one is, let us see numerical part. We have one numerical problem that a radio set of 60 watt runs for 50 hours. How much electric energy is consumed? एक रेडियो सेट है जो कि 60 वॉट जिसकी रेटिंग है, 60 वॉट पावर है और वो 50 घंटे तक चलता है. कितनी इलेक्ट्रिकल एनर्जी कंज्यूम होगी? सो सिंपल फॉर्मूला, दैट इज इलेक्ट्रिकल एनर्जी इज इक्वल टू पावर इनटू टाइम, एंड व्हाट वी गॉट हियर इज, we have converted, students, this watt into kilowatt by dividing 60 by the 1000. It came out to be kilowatt. Multiply with 50 hour. So after calculation, what we found out is it came out to be 3 kilowatt hour or 3 units is the answer of it. Okay, for any electrical appliance, we should always prefer to find out electrical energy in unit form or kilowatt hour. Next numerical is, a bulb is rated 200 watt and 200 volt and 100 watt. So this is potential difference of the bulb across the bulb, whereas this 100 watt is a power of it. What is the resistance? 5 such bulbs burn for 4 hours. What is the electrical energy consumed? And calculate the cost if the rate is rupees 4.60 per unit. Mean that एक बल्ब है जिसके ऊपर लिखा हुआ है 200 वोल्ट पर रन करता है और 100 वॉट इसकी पावर है, उसका रेजिस्टेंस पता करना है. फिर ऐसे ही 4-5 बल्ब ऐसे हैं जो कि 4 घंटे तक चलते हैं हर रोज़. ओके, और उसकी इलेक्ट्रिकल एनर्जी हमें पता करनी है और कितना कॉस्ट आएगा, कितना बिल हमारा आएगा अगर 1 यूनिट को रन करने के लिए 4 रुपए और 60 पैसे लगते हैं तब. Let us see, find out one after the other. Since resistance is calculated by, formula P is equal to V square by R, so R will be equal to V square by P. Okay, from here I have calculated, or R is equal to voltage square of it divided by power. So when we found out, we have seen that resistance is equal to 40,000 upon 100, that is 400 ohm. Now second part is, let us calculate electrical energy. Since we have to find out its bill, and bill is based on the electrical energy only, so E is equal to power into time. Power here is 100 and time came out to be 1000. Okay, sorry, that is 4 hour. So power is 100 upon 1000 in kilowatt, multiply with 4 hour. So when we calculated it, we found out that energy consumed by one bulb came out to be 0.4 kilowatt hour, and for the 5 bulbs it came out to be 2 kilowatt hour. Okay, and cost is, of course, for the 1 unit or 1 kilowatt hour it is 4.60, and what is our value? That is 2 units, 2 kilowatt hour. So when we multiply it, cost of running 5 bulbs for 4 hour a day, that came out to be rupees 9.20. So this is the way how we calculate the cost of various electrical appliances. This is for one appliance I have done. In question may come where you may get 3 or 4 appliances. The same method can be applied, and at the last cost can be added up. Okay, so as to get the total bill. Now let us see further heating effect of current. Students, when an electric current is passed When an electric current is passed through a high resistant wire like nichrome wire, the resistance wire become very hot and produce heat. You know that. This is called heating effect of current. ओके जब हम कभी भी इलेक्ट्रिकल करंट को पास करते हैं किसी बहुत ज़्यादा हाई रेजिस्टेंस वायर से, जैसे कि नाइक्रोम वायर है, तो रेजिस्टेंस इतनी ज़्यादा हो जाती है कि वो अप्लायंस अपने आप रेड हॉट हो जाता है और साथ में हीट प्रोड्यूस करता है. दिस इज कॉल्ड एज हीटिंग इफेक्ट ऑफ करंट. Now, based on the heating effect of current, we have one very important law, that is Joule's law of heating. Joule's law of heating, suppose a conductor of resistance R is there through which current I is flowing. Now, in that case, work done will be there for the time t. ओके सो हमने एक कंडक्टर लिया है, इलेक्ट्रिकल कंडक्टर लिया है जिसकी कुछ रेजिस्टेंस है R, और उसमें से करंट को फ्लो करवाया गया. ओके और उस पर आपको पता है वर्क डन ज़रूर आएगा. नाउ दिस वर्क डन यू नो इज इक्वल टू चार्ज फ्लोइंग मल्टीप्लाई विद द पोटेंशियल डिफरेंस, दैट इज W इज इक्वल टू Q इंटू V. Okay, now what we did is we replace this Q with I into T, as I I is equal to, or current is equal to charge upon time, so charge will be equal to current multiply with time. So we have applied this one here, so it came out to be I into T multiply with V. Okay, now in next step let us replace this V also with the Ohm's law, that is I into R. Okay, so ultimately what we found here is work done is equal to I square into R into T. You know that all electrical work done is converted ultimately into the heat. That is why we can say that this work done is nothing else but heat, that is H is equal to I square RT. So therefore it is clear that heat produced in a wire is directly proportional to the square of current. It is directly proportional to the resistance of wire and also directly proportional for the time for which current is passed. So this is called as Joule's law of heating. It also tells us that by increasing current twice, heat produced will be 4 times. By increasing resistance and time also we can increase the quantity of amount of heat. So this is called as Joule's law of heating. Now let us see what are applications of Joule's law of heating. Okay, first one is that this Joule's law of heating is used, or electrical heating is used in the working of electrical heating devices like electric iron or electric kettle. Now these devices, they contain a coil of very high resistance made of nichrome alloy. You can see here I have shown an electric iron in which there is a coil or element of nichrome wire here, and this is connected with another cord which is made up of copper wire. Now this is a nichrome wire, as you can see here. Okay, when these devices are connected to power supply, then a large amount of heat is produced in nichrome wire of heating element. Reason? Because it is made up of very high resistance. That is why. So the heat will be produced more, as according to the H is equal to I square RT, resistance is directly proportional to the heat produced. That is why we have taken a much high resistance wire, that is a nichrome wire, which is going to produce heat. And of course this nichrome wire gets dead hot. Okay, but you know that there is a negligible amount of heat generated in the connecting copper wire. That is why we don't get and see any red glow in the copper wire present here. Okay, reason is that because it has low resistance which is connected immediately to the nichrome wire. Now second application is that the heating effect of electric current is utilized in electric bulbs for producing light. तो हीटिंग इफेक्ट को हम इसलिए भी यूज़ कर सकते हैं ताकि हम इलेक्ट्रिक बल्ब में लाइट प्रोड्यूस कर सकें. ओके, व्हेन इलेक्ट्रिक करंट पासेस थ्रू अ वेरी थिन हाई रेजिस्टेंट वायर. अब की बार हम इलेक्ट्रिक बल्ब के अंदर टंगस्टन फिलामेंट का यूज़ करते हैं जिसमें बहुत ज़्यादा हाई रेजिस्टेंस है, बट इट इज़ वेरी थिन. यू नो, इट इज़ हाईली फोल्डेड, हाईली coiled, very thin, breaks up very fast, but it has very high resistance. The filament become white hot and emit light. That's a characteristic feature, that it becomes white hot and emits light. Tungsten filament, being made of very high resistant coil, produces an enormous amount of heat, whereas copper connecting wires have low resistance in them. Okay, let me show you one diagram here. Yes. Now here I have shown you bulb and a glowing bulb. You can see here an electric bulb. In electric bulb, this is a cord, and then here you can see a coil which is a tungsten filament. It is highly coiled and thin wire present here. Okay. Now inside the bulb is present an inert gas which is made up of argon as well as nitrogen. So argon and nitrogen is filled inside the bulb. That is another important feature about it. Now when bulb glows, you know this glows only because of this high resistant wire, that is a tungsten filament inside it, because of which it glows. Let us see what I have written for you is why this tungsten, why we use it. Tungsten filament is preferred for making bulb filament because it has a very high melting point also. First feature is that it has a very high resistance, because of which it gives a white hot light is given, and along with that it has a very high melting point of 3380 degrees Celsius. Therefore after meeting white glow light, it does not melt at all. It keep on going for a number of years. Second is that electric bulb is filled with an electrically chemically unreactive gases like argon and nitrogen, or a mixture of both. These gases do not react with the hot filament and hence prolong the life of filament of the electric bulb. So there are two uses of inert gas filled here, that is argon and nitrogen. One is that these gases do not react with the hot filament, and our second thing is that they prolong the life of filament also. Okay, so it does not oxidize the filament, rather it protect it and prolong the life of this filament. So these are the two reasons I have shown here, two reasons because of which the tungsten filament and the unreactive gases are filled inside the bulb. Next one is that third application, that heating effect of electrical current is utilized in electric fuse for protecting household wiring and electrical appliances. So हमारे घर में जो इलेक्ट्रिक फ्यूज होते हैं आप सब ने देखा होगा, राइट, वो भी वायरिंग के साथ जो लगे होते हैं, हमारी हाउस होल्ड वायरिंग के साथ होते हैं. वो इलेक्ट्रिक फ्यूज भी हीटिंग इफेक्ट ऑफ करंट पर ही बेस्ड है. You know, a fuse is a short length of a tin coated copper wire. जो हमारे घर में फ्यूज लगता है उसमें एक बहुत स्पेशल वायर लगाई जाती है शॉर्ट लेंथ की, विच इज़ अ टिन प्लेटेड कॉपर वायर. एक कॉपर वायर है, उसके ऊपर टिन मेटल की प्लेटिंग की जाती है. ये मेटल है, टिन मेटल की प्लेटिंग की जाती है उसके ऊपर. ओके, रीज़न इज बिकॉज इट हैज़ अ वेरी लो मेल्टिंग पॉइंट. रीज़न इसलिए है क्योंकि हमने इसको लो मेल्टिंग पॉइंट का बनाना है. दिस फ्यूज वायर हैज़ अ वेरी हाई रेजिस्टेंस. सेकेंड इम्पॉर्टेंट थिंग, एक बात तो ये हुई कि ये मेल्टिंग पॉइंट लो होता है इस वायर का, और दूसरा रेजिस्टेंस बहुत हाई है इस वायर की देन द रेस्ट ऑफ द इलेक्ट्रिकल वायरिंग ऑफ द हाउस. सो when the current in a household circuit rises too much ड्यू टू ओवरलोडिंग और शॉर्ट सर्किटिंग, जब हमारे घर में करंट फ्लो होते हुए बहुत ज़्यादा बढ़ जाए और हमें पता ही नहीं चलता कि ओवरलोडिंग या शॉर्ट सर्किटिंग से करंट बहुत ज़्यादा वैल्यू बढ़ गई है, द फ्यूज वायर गेट्स हीटेड टू मच. ये फ्यूज वायर जो टिन प्लेटिंग की बनी है बहुत ज़्यादा हीटअप हो जाती है एंड मेल्ट्स एंड ब्रेक द सर्किट. ये मेल्ट कर जाती है, पहले हीट होगी फिर मेल्ट होगी और फिर सर्किट को ब्रेक कर देगी. जो हमारे पैरेलल सर्किट के साथ ये सीरीज में लगा हुआ है, this is, you know, this electric fuse lies between the all electrical circuits in our houses and the meter board, and this is lying in a series. So in a this once it will break, so this will break the connection between the current coming from the meter board to the electrical appliances in our house. Therefore it damages to various appliances in our houses due to effective heating or excessive heating. Let us see further. I have collected one diagram for you also so that you can easily remind it. This is a fuse. Early fuse is there, in which on one side there is a live wire. This is a live wire, this is live wire coming here, and in between there is a fuse wire. This is a tin plated copper wire which is a fuse wire lying in between it. Okay, and this is a fuse grip which is made up of porcelain, with the help of which we insert it in the fuse connection. Now when it gets heated up too much, at that time this tin plating wire that gets heated up fast, and along with that current values lies and it breaks up. Okay, this is how it works, and it break all the circuits in our connection of circuit in our houses. Now you know that these kind of fuse are used these days, small fuse are used these days. Okay, and there is a very thin, you can see tin wire here, and along with that circuit breakers are also used in our houses, around our houses these days. There is a difference between the fuse and circuit breaker, students. That fuse that work on the thermal and electrical properties of the conducting material, mean heating effect of current, it work on heating effect of current, whereas circuit breaker it work on the electromagnetism principle. Okay, so there is a difference between them, that this works on heating effect, whereas it works on electromagnetism. So these are the three important applications of heating effect of current. Okay, I hope you understood it thoroughly. Now let us see one problem here related to the heating effect of current. An electric heater of resistance 500 ohm is connected to a main supply for 30 minutes. ओके एक इलेक्ट्रिक हीटर है जिसकी रेजिस्टेंस 500 ओम है, और उसको हमने 30 मिनट के लिए क्या किया, कनेक्ट किया मेन सप्लाई से, उसमें से 15 एम्पियर करंट को पास किया गया. नाउ वी हैव टू कैलकुलेट heat produced in the heater. So an electric heater of resistance 500 ohm is connected to main supply for 30 minutes. Current of 15 ampere is passed. Let us find out the heat produced in it. So heat resistance I have shown here. Time for which it was connected is 30 minutes. I have converted it into the seconds by multiply it with the 60. So 30 into 60 is 1800 second. Current used here is 15 ampere. Now if we apply here the formula, that is H is equal to I square into R into T, so H will come out to be after that 2.025 into 10 power 8 joules. Okay, so this is how we can find out heat. Also we can be asked to find out heat when we have a resistance and current along with time. One thing we have to always keep in mind, that for finding out heat in joules, then time should always be in second. But if you find out heat in kilowatt hour or in units for calculating cost price, you should always use time in hours. Okay, and power in kilowatt. So that is what I would like to say. That now I am ending up my video here. Students, do like, share and subscribe. I am saying it again so as to spread the knowledge as much as possible with other students also. Thank you very much.